Yo, what's going on, guys? Today we are going to be revealing some of the more important patch notes for tomorrow's big Guardian Takedown release. Now, if you guys missed it, the Bordercast was actually live today with Mitsu and Tesachka. They talked about some of the patch notes. They didn't reveal everything. The full patch notes will actually be out with the patch tomorrow, which is coming out 9 a.m. Pacific. And will be rolling out to all platforms by 12 p.m. Pacific. So yeah, we're actually just going to go over some of the cool things they talked about. They talked about a lot of important changes, and I took notes. So let's get straight into it. Now, the first thing, obviously, the Guardian Takedown is coming out tomorrow. It is a permanent addition to the game, just like the Maliwan Takedown. So yeah, obviously that's going to be here tomorrow. The next thing they mentioned is the fight for your life quality of life changes. So whenever you are reviving your teammate, they will get a movement speed penalty basically, so they won't be able to run away from you, and they'll be a lot easier to revive. On top of that, the actual icon is going to be easier to click, so you won't have to it'll just be a lot easier. And the last thing they mentioned is that friends will actually be able to multi-revive you to get you up really quick. So there are a lot of fight for your life, quality of life changes happening tomorrow. So yeah. Next, they mentioned there are going to be a lot of stability and optimization improvements, which they often roll out with lots of patches. There's just going to be a lot of small bug fixes. We'll go over more specific details tomorrow when we get the full patch notes. The next thing they mentioned, this is actually really weird to me. They said the 300% anointment was not working correctly with non-flesh enemies. Now, this was actually a rumor that got spread around when this anointment first came out. It is actually working correctly with non-flesh enemies. So I really wonder what change is going to be in the patch tomorrow. I'll go ahead and figure that out as soon as I can tomorrow, and I will update you guys. Because like I said, it actually was working very correctly against robots and enemies that aren't flesh. So it'll be weird to see what's changing with that anointment, and I'm kind of curious about that one. Moving on, now the huge change to the Mayhem 2.0 scaling. Currently, enemies get 12,500% health, shield, and armor bonuses to all three of these things. At Mayhem 10, these will be lowered to 10,000%. I believe that is the current Mayhem 9 scaling. So what's really cool is they're basically lowering it, and then they will be lowering Mayhem 7 through 10, kind of to match that as well. So we're going to see Mayhem 2.0 being lowered. This will inadvertently buff every single weapon in the game. Now, with every single weapon in the game inadvertently being buffed, they will actually be nerfing a couple of the Cartel and Mayhem 6 weapons. Now, don't worry, I know I just said they're going to be nerfing it, but you have to remember that the Mayhem 2.0 scaling will also be happening tomorrow, so hopefully they will actually just feel exactly the same as they did today. And we actually have these specific weapons that are getting nerfed. They revealed them on the Bordercast and how. So they are actually nerfing the Sandhawk. They're taking away 2 projectiles. They said not only will this help with the optimization and kind of lagginess in the game, because the Sandhawk created a lot of projectiles that basically messed with the optimization. So like I said, hopefully it'll actually feel around the same with the Mayhem scaling being lowered. But they did also mention that they will actually be buffing the Sandhawk as well. They're going to be increasing the range and the time that the projectiles last, so you can use the Sandhawk at a farther range now, which is really cool because it was a sniper that you really couldn't use at long range, and the projectiles disappeared quickly. Now, besides that, the yellow cake is getting a nerf. This was kind of obvious. But like I am going to keep mentioning, the Mayhem scaling is lowering. So basically what they mentioned about the yellow cake is that, you know how when you shoot it and the projectiles split, they're actually going to be lowering the projectile split damage, because currently when the projectiles split, each projectile gets had a full rocket's worth of damage. So basically now like when it splits into 2, it's going to get cut in half, and then when it splits into 4, it'll get cut into fourths. So it'll feel like a more balanced weapon. Now, before you kind of have your gut reaction to not like this change, personally, I much rather them do this kind of change rather than nerfing the ammo. I was really upset with the ion cannon ammo nerf. And I think the yellow cake is going to be balanced tomorrow. It's going to feel good. So personally, I like this change to it. And finally, they are nerfing the Kaosin. Now, they mentioned how it's just going to be less accurate when fired. I don't know if they specifically mentioned the damage coming down. I don't think they did. So I think the Kaosin is actually just going to take a bit of an accuracy nerf. And yeah, those were the only guns they mentioned nerfing. So that's kind of crazy because the OPQ is going to be just as strong tomorrow. The Plague Bearer is going to be the same. The Backburner. These guns that were really strong are not getting changed at all. They're just actually going to be stronger with the Mayhem scaling. So that's kind of crazy that only those 3 weapons specifically are getting adjusted. And yeah, so let's move on. Next, this is a huge fix that I was probably the most excited to hear. They are fixing Agonizer, they are fixing Wotan and the Kraken legs, and they are fixing Aista. So the Backburner that was very hard to farm on console, the Skull Masher, which was currently unobtainable completely at Mayhem 10, and Wotan's legs. Those are some of the biggest loot issues in my opinion. Now they won't be fixing chests or vending machines until phase 2, but I'm very happy to see Agonizer getting fixed. Yeah, that's really cool. So let's keep going. They mentioned some of the Mayhem modifiers will be changing. The floor is lava, which was super annoying, will be reduced. The floor is lava is basically getting nerfed tomorrow. It was kind of bugged when enemies weren't around. It would persist for a long time. And yeah, next they mentioned Chain Gang. Chain Gang will dissipate the further away you are from enemies. So if you're actually far away from enemies, you won't see Chain Gang active. Now, this will actually help with the performance of the game. Because with this currently active the way it was, it kind of probably made your game lag a little bit. And yeah. Now, besides that, they mentioned cartel anointments are here to stay. So this was already known, but yeah, that'll be solidified in the patch tomorrow, which is really cool. Besides that, they mentioned some buffs to some SMGs, the number one being the bitch. They are actually buffing the bitch. Can we get a hashtag buff the bitch in the Twitch chat right now and in the YouTube comments later on when I post this? Besides that, they mentioned the handsome jackhammer, the devoted, the cloud kill, the tsunami, the vanquisher, and the ripper. So that is a dozen guns getting buffed tomorrow. We'll probably see more in the patch. I'm not 100% sure, but those are the ones they mentioned specifically tonight. With those buffs, we are getting some anointment buffs. Airborne anointment is getting buffed. Sliding fire rate. Auto bear incendiary is getting buffed. Action skill end next to mags are getting buffed. Action skill end 125% splash is getting buffed. And I believe that's it. Airborne and slide. Yeah, those are on my list. Okay, that is actually it for my list of changes. This is just kind of a sneak peek to the patches tomorrow. The update will be rolling out at 9 a.m. Pacific for all platforms, and by 12 p.m. Pacific, it'll be on every single platform. So look out for that tomorrow. I am super excited. I will be doing another patch notes video tomorrow when we get the full patch, but they mentioned this stuff on the Bordercast, and I know you guys want this stuff ahead of time. So here you guys go. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a like on it and subscribe to the channel. I will be posting tons of videos tomorrow, so make sure you guys stay tuned and check it out. Turn on post notifications. Otherwise, come check out my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/thickfillet_. And yeah, that is pretty much going to be it from me, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Like I said, full patch notes tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern. And yeah, so see you guys in the next one. I'm out.